Taking forever. Give me a second. All right, guys, welcome to Directory Webinar number 33. Today we're going to be going continue on the series of funnels, and we have actually outpaced the ClickFunnels series, so there's no video today from them, but today I'm jumping ahead. We're just going to go into cancel funnels today, and we'll kind of talk about maybe it's kind of like a reverse funnel. It's actually not a funnel that you would do for anybody getting into your service. Is basically a funnel that you would utilize in order to take them out of your service, or potentially not take them out of your service if the funnel works correctly. So that's what we're going to go over today. So just I know there's only a couple of you guys in the room here for today, so I apologize for the replay. There's maybe not as much interaction as normal. I forgot to send out my email today, so hopefully some people will jump in here as well. But I know Toby's up on comm. Paula or Jeremiah, if you guys can connect or want to participate, feel free to do that. Please, just to interject your ideas in here as well. But Toby, do you, since you're the only one up on comm, anybody else can jump in here as well, but do you use anything? I don't think you do. I'm just from your website. Do you use any process if you've had people cancel or think about what you want to do if somebody tries to cancel? Just talking them through that on how to stay or anything like that.
I haven't quite got my BD part of that set up, but in the planning process, definitely need to have something. And using a funnel, I think, is the best way for it. I think some sort of pre-cancellation funnel, to try and make them stay. I've used in other with other hats on, not BD. I have used or played around with ClickFunnels, and I've also played around with a couple of other similar entities dotted around, less expensive but harder to integrate.
Yeah, so right off the bat, there's really nothing in BD that's set up to do that. In terms of stopping people from not signing up. About the only thing that it does do is it asks them if they want to downgrade to contact you, basically. And so if you guys haven't looked at the change in the plan or whatever, you guys may want to do that. So let me just show you what it looks like here in the BD, and then we can kind of talk about what some changes that people may be able to make just right off the bat. We'll kind of just go over what it looks like on BD here. So let me share my screen real quick here. And we'll just go into, I just made a test membership here, a test company for on my directory here, just to kind of show you. This is just default what it looks like in BD for the cancel process. If they're in their dashboard, it's not readily available for them on how to downgrade or cancel, obviously, but it does have, the billing details or whatever, but they actually have to go into the account to manage the account. And when they do that, it comes to this page here. And this is where they would view their billing details. And then here's where we get into the cancel or downgrade. And so if it just says downgrade membership level and it says to downgrade your membership level, please contact us. And so that just links directly to your contact form. And so it doesn't really give them an alternative to downgrade other than contacting you and just typing something randomly to you, right? And so it's kind of I would say a poor man's attempt. It's really not anything in there that's going to, change their mind necessarily, because there's an easy close my account button right here, right? And that just automatically deletes your account. So just think about it the way it's set up right now in your BD site. There's an option for them to have an alternative, a downgrade or something, but they have to fill out a form. Which is easier? Clicking here to go to another page to fill out a form, or just hit close my account? They're probably just going to hit close my account. So one of the things that you can do, and this takes a customization, but we've had many clients just get rid of the close my account button totally. And then what you would do is then edit the text here to say downgrade or cancel membership level, to downgrade or cancel your membership, please contact us. And so that basically takes away to the ability to immediately close it, and then just has them contact you. In relation to this button here for the close my account, I just want to kind of point this out for you guys. If you guys go to the settings and advanced settings in your directory and go to actual, just type in the word, I think just close would probably get you there, or maybe not. Let's go cancel with that. There we go. There's a couple options in here. One is to not receive an email after cancellation. You can turn that on. And so I honestly don't know why that's in here. It's basically saying, I don't care if you cancel. Don't bother me with your money-making ways. I don't want to make money here. I don't even care if they leave. I don't want to talk to them. Turn that off. So I guess you can turn it off. If there's no way, if you're not going to do any follow-up or you just don't even want to be bothered by it, you can turn it off. But that's what that does. This one up here, actually is one you may want to take a look at and change the perhaps default value of 3. And what it basically does is it says, after they have requested to cancel their account, you either change it to 1 for it to be not active, 3, which is the default canceled or deleted, or 4 for on hold. And so I think it's pretty self-explanatory there. But what that basically does is in your membership level, when you have 3 different settings, one would be hold, not active, or deleted or canceled. It'll actually change that stuff. So some people have chosen to change that to a 1, where it just becomes not active anymore. And then it's kind of always there in case they want to pop back in and go like, oh, just kidding. I really do want my account. It's not deleted or canceled. Like, they can actually get their stuff back and everything's not removed from the system. So it basically just kind of puts everything in a holding pattern in there. Obviously, depending on your service, if you have a lot of storage for stuff, people that are just not paying anymore, you probably don't necessarily want all of their stuff just sitting in your database there, taking up storage space out of your 20 gigabytes when they have no intent of ever coming back. Or if they had a lot of content and there's just kind of taking up your storage and bandwidth, not necessarily bandwidth, but storage, because it's just sitting there and they're not paying anymore. So you may not want it as just not active, but maybe you do because it's easier for them to turn that back on and all their stuff is still there, and they just basically reactivate and repay for their listing after they contact you and you turn it back on, for example. They're not going to be able to once it turns into it. Well, one thing it does do when you turn it to a non-active status, it would have that warning again in there because they could still log in. If they delete it, there's no account anymore, so they're not gonna be able to log in. Let me show you again what that would look like. So I'm already logged in here. I'm just gonna change that test account I just made to not active, and I'll show you guys the difference. Obviously, if you did that. So again, back in the membership dashboard, I'm active right now, so it doesn't have that little warning banner up here. It just looks like, I just edit my profile from my premium membership here. But if I change that to not active, let me do that real quick. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can update the account status here, or you can do it from the actions button, and I'll change it to not active. Okay, and then I'll refresh. So again, this is what it would look like if they logged in. It would show not active, and so again, just think about this. This default text may not make any sense because it's going to say click to verify to activate your account. Well, they stopped paying, right? So they're still in the premium membership, but they're not active. So you may want to edit this wording here, something if you're going to do that, and say, if you've canceled your account may be, in not activated status, and then you may be required to pay, pay again to restart your account or something like that. And whatever the wording is, just realize that that's what that wording is. It's the same, just like if they're normally not activated and hadn't verified their email settings there, that's what they're going to get, that little warning box. So you may want to change that wording. So going back to going back to the cancellation thing again. This is something you want to think about because, again, once they hit the close my account, again, as we haven't walked through this here, I'll just show you guys what this does. Now it goes to this page, right? And it says no go back, which just goes back, or it says yes, close my account. And then it has this little warning here about how we can help contact us before closing your account. So you can see by the normal coloring, depending on how you have the coloring set up, this is usually brighter than your default, because I think this is default and then this is the primary, I think. Let me go verify that real quick. Let me go to my color settings here just so you guys are aware of which one is which. But what you want to do, sometimes people change the colors around. A lot of times people don't realize when they change the colors around inside of their account, it can have some psychological effects as well, right, on your what they're doing or which one they're more likely to click. And so if you change the default, which is normally that subdued gray, to something like bright red or a green, like, hey, click here, you may actually be pointing them to the direction of clicking that button as opposed to clicking off the button. So here's my default button. You notice that's gray. And this is my success button. So that is normally a greenish type. I have it as purple on mine. So I have it's success and default are the two in there. And so if you have this changed to a green, or you have that default change to something else, or you have the the success more of a subdued color, you may actually be highlighting to them, yes, close my account. You see, this one's a lot easier to see, no, go back. Psychologically, your brain wants to click that one because it's darker, as opposed to this one that kind of blends in. So it may be the opposite. So just make sure that you're aware of that and go look at that or test it out on yours to make sure it looks good. But as you can see up here, these are a little bit bigger and more prominent. This one almost, and even as I'm looking at, here, it's kind of hard to read perhaps. So maybe I do want to change my white on yellow for that particular type. And again, that's just a subdued warning button. It basically subdues that color a little bit. And I think the button text here is white. So just make sure it looks good. But one of the things on here, this is, although it's like a warning badge, it almost kind of just blends in with the yellow up there, yellow up here, and your eyes go right here and almost may overlook that of, hey, how can we help to contact us? So you may want to edit this text or make that text bigger in that text label, because you can add HTML and bolding and stuff like that into those text records. Maybe make that more prominent, or you can probably just change that widget here, or the content of here, where you can kind of add that messaging in here as well. So there's a couple things that you can do and a couple widgets or text labels that you can maneuver, and those are some things that you may want to change. So it all comes kind of down to the messaging. Think about what they're going to see when they click through there and what they're reading, and make sure that it gives them an alternate way and to maneuver, and so that they obviously don't click yes, close my account. But if they do then click on that account, close my account, then it does the actions that we just talked about. Any questions on that from anybody in there? Welcome, Scott, Olga, and Mike. Looks like you guys jumped on while I was doing that little presentation there. Any questions on that?
No questions on that, but I'll share one thing. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, it's Jeremiah. I have a question. If somebody does their account on hold or cancels it, does their profile go away? Because I hate to lose the rankings that I could still get traffic from, but maybe restrict some of their content as an unverified member. I wonder how that works.
Yeah. So Scott, hold that question. I'll get to you in a second. So to answer your question, it kind of depends. I don't know if you jumped in there a little bit late. You can set up in the advanced settings what it does, whether it goes on hold or goes on not active, or if it just gets totally deleted. So
I wondered if it's on hold or not active. I wondered what those definitions meant, like as far as their profile.
Okay. So if it's on hold or not not active, they're not going to show on the front end. So what what you will want to do is you could do a couple things on that, Jeremiah. You could if you could basically not tell them it. You're not telling them what the back end setting is. So for all they know, it's going to be deleted, right? Or it'll be put on hold or whatever, or deleted or whatever. They're clicking the wording as it sits. It says remove my account, right? So what you can do as soon as you get that notification that somebody canceled, what you can do is basically remove them from controlling that listing, and you could maybe move it to another plan or make it so it's still visible, but they don't have control of it. Maybe you move it from the premium back to the basic and just put it back into the claim listing pool, and they can go back and sign up for it again later.
Yeah, that way we don't lose the rankings, which we may earn credits or leads from, and go to another member.
Right. Yeah, but the last thing you want to do is have people realize they can just cancel, not pay, and have it look the same as before they canceled or whatever. Have the same other than editing it, have the same functionality. Do you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, people will potentially edit it, get it all where they want it to be, cancel, and then you just keep it there with all their edited data, with all the stuff that they wanted, and they're like, I'm not paying anymore, and I just edited my thing. So
having it go back to unclaimed is definitely great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. What do you got, Scott?
Yeah, Ryan, I have a question.
Yeah, so have I.
Hold on, Olga. Scott's got a question real quick.
Okay.
I just want to share that one of the things that I noticed, I was playing with buttons the other day, and I when they launched the rounded corners thing, and I realized that the rounded corners, whatever level you choose, ends up applying to every single button.
Yes.
Do you know if there's a strategy by which you can have some have like super rounded and diverge that? Because I from my site, Ryan, what I realized is some of the disclaimers text that we have on some of the pages, when they're on mobile now, the text actually goes outside the buttons because I have the super rounded. So if you type too much, they actually extend beyond. That's probably an issue that's only to me, but just an observation that it applies that shape to every single button you have. So
yeah, the workaround on that is pay somebody to manually edit the buttons you want to be rounded.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, there's no if then or it's basically all or nothing on the setting as it is right now. So. All right, Toby was.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh no, you're good. You're good on the. I was just reading your comments. You're good on the audio. No, I think that was from before. So.
Yeah. I've got a question, but let Olga go first.
Okay, go ahead, Olga.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry I jumped in. Maybe it's a bit too late. Did you mention that I can edit those text labels with HTML? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah, you can. Let me just go. Let me just show you guys an example here. I'll just go grab. I'll just open up my admin account here real quick. And get to so we'll use this one as an example. Open that up. Waiting for the admin bar to make sure that shows up on here. There you go. So again, I'm gonna open up that page I was just on with the admin bar. I'm gonna click. It's just kind of we've shown this many times. Just want to make sure for anybody new watching here, you can click if you go to your page and you click visit website, it's going to open up the website with this admin bar on here, and then you can go to any page. And I'm just going to click on the show widgets bar here with the little search thing with the plus in it. And what that does, it kind of it's not really an edit mode, but it just kind of opens up all the widgets code in here to kind of allow you to kind of jump straight into a particular text label. So let's go to this one right here. All these yellow things are text labels that you can edit, right? So the no go back is the close account go back. The are you sure you want to close your account is right here. So let me just do this one. I kind of talked about how this one didn't look as big or whatever. So let me just click on that. And then I'm going to click off from that. So you just hit the minus side. It's going to go back to the original thing so we can kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to edit this text label, and then you can see the difference here. So it says, how can we help? Contact us.
I edited all my almost everything in text labels, but I didn't know how to like.
Yeah.
You can edit,
Well, so here's a perfect
HTML.
example. This one already has it in here. It's got the HTML for wrapping for the contact us, right? So let's say you didn't want it to go to the contact us. Just say, let's say we want to add a break line in there. And then let's just say we want this to be a strong. That just basically means bold. And we could say, are you aware of all 125 of our features? Question mark. Click here to see them all on what you would be missing. A clock here. I'm going to click here. All right, so I'm just going to grab this this href there. I'm going to say click here and do that, and we'll call this features. So let's say we have a features page, and if I didn't, I would go make it right now. Okay, so there we go. So now it's going to be a bolded thing. Are you aware of all 125 of our features? And
can I put an image there?
Yeah.
Any other widget? Like, can
Yeah.
I even put a widget there? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You definitely can.
Oh, great.
So there we go. So this, see, now it's bold. Are you aware of all 125 of our features? Click here to see all of them and what you'd be missing. So you could totally have an image in here, and actually I'll just I'll go do that.
Can I style this? I can change the color. I can change the font
Yeah,
weight.
you can change everything. You could stick a widget. Well, I don't know if you can do a widget in there or not. Like, actually, I think you may be able to. Let me just go grab one real quick. That
because it was
works.
such
I can't remember.
It was such a great discovery for me on the BD webinar that I can actually add widgets to forms, which look them much nicer if you add an image like at the top of it. But if it's possible to add widgets to that area, that would actually solve a lot of.
Yeah. So let me do a couple things. Let me add a break in here. Let me add an image. Let me just grab one here off from mine. Let's say that's I don't know. That's going to convince him right there. Actually, let's put that one in. I don't know what that is. That's there we go. I'm just going to put my logo with that. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not my logo. I got a new logo. I'll show you. I'll debut that later, but. So there we go. There's my image, and we'll say width is 200 pixels. All right, so there's that. Okay, so now I've got my logo in there, and now I'm going to go grab a widget. We'll go pick something at random. How about a merch widget? Want some merchandise? Let's see, font. Let me do font awesome demo. Let's grab that
so
one.
Funny how people call their widgets. Only them understand what they mean.
I don't know. I have no idea what that means. Not sure what that is. No.
Doesn't. No. Okay.
Does not like widgets. That's what I wasn't sure about that. But just grab the code from the actual widget and just put it in the HTML. So I mean that's.
Oh yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh, there we go. I was doing a demo for somebody from. I put a tooth on there, but let me grab. Let me grab something else. Again, but you guys get the point. Obviously, you just grab the HTML from the widget and put it in there. It'll work fine. That's when I think this was. I think this is actually me. This is a demo of a merchandise cart. Let's see. Oh, yes, that didn't work. Whatever that was, the div. But anyway, so you guys can add whatever you want in there. It could be an infographic, it could be explanation. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, that's just a button thing, right? But you can edit this widget up here too as well, and change whatever you want out of there. So that one I want to delete here. I don't want to save that. I'm going to do that before I forget. But you guys get the point. Any other questions on that?
And adding HTML5 files, is it possible anywhere at all on BD websites, or it should be done through zip file?
Like what do you mean? Like what do you mean by HTML5? I mean that's just a standard, but is there some stuff that's not working?
HTML5, you know those. The other some other version of those PDF files, you know, the ones that you actually can insert on the page.
I mean, as long as it had, I mean, there's some of those newer coding standards or whatever. You got to have the right style sheet or style stuff in there in order for it to load. So sometimes those don't load in there. I'd have to take a look exactly what you're talking about. So, like for example, there's certain things like Bootstrap 4 or above or 5, Bootstrap 5, you can't use on BD because the backend system's on Bootstrap 3.7. So those aren't going to work. Some of the newer Font Awesome libraries like 5 and 6 are not supported by BD because they only loaded 4.7 or something, I think. So so it needs to have the framework for it. So I think I just have to say, just test it out there and see if it works. Otherwise, you need to make sure all the libraries are in there appropriately. Now, there may be some things that, because you don't have root access anymore to BD, you used to be able to upload those on FTP or on the root folder or whatever. You don't have access to that. So if for some reason anybody wants to add those in there in a spot where they can't get to the root folder or whatever, just ask BD, and they should be able to do it for you. And then obviously if they don't want to upload whatever you're giving them, they'll let you know that as well. But
Okay.
Toby, do you have a question?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So earlier on, you were talking about putting people on hold or making them inactive, and you made a point that you may want to be careful about the fact that they may be eating into your storage space. The question is there such a way that an admin can easily see who's got what storage space? You know, and so you can go and find out that, you know, yeah, okay, we don't want to put these guys on hold. They want to delete their account. Let's get rid of everything.
That's a great question.
Because I can't seem to. I mean, I've been asking on the BD Facebook page about reporting on another subject, but on statistics, about the statistics reporting, but this is the same scenario. Is there any sort of reporting that, you know, an admin can quickly, easily see that you know of? That's a great question. I don't think you can. I've never seen anything on the size of that person's profile other than knowing that they've added a bunch of stuff. I'd ask BD that, to be honest, or maybe we can. I may ask that at the next webinar, because I see your question. If they have like 50 photo albums with 30 photos each and it's taking up half your drive with that one person, you may want to see them go. You may pay them to leave, and then just because you have the wrong settings in there for your plan, right? But I've never seen that.
where that's been delineated or whatever in there. So that may be something good to know. I'm trying to think. There's probably a way in the database there in the back end to tell that, like the sizes and stuff like that, but nothing in the actual panel that I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
I
you.
mean, I would equate it this, just make sure when you guys are setting your settings on there, and let me just go over this real quick for people that are watching. If you guys are doing your membership plans and are setting these up, make sure that you're not doing something I'll say ludicrous as my word for the day. There's just something that doesn't make sense for your items, and I would normally not recommend unlimited photos, and we've gone over that before. So if you have maybe a premium plan, everything looks good, like saying unlimited, right? Unlimited everything. But realize if you guys have the add-ons here and you can control the amount of photo albums and it's at unlimited. Now I don't have this turned on for mine, so it is unlimited. But realize 0 is unlimited. So if you have it as they can post this and you can have unlimited photo albums with unlimited max photos per photo album. You're basically trying to become Flickr, is what you're telling everybody there, where they can upload as many albums, as many photos as they want for whatever price you're charging them. And rarely does that make sense to have that unlimited. So if you're going to do unlimited, you definitely want to say unlimited instead of 20 photo albums, right? Which is insane anyway, normally. If you just want to be able to say unlimited, I would definitely highly recommend you just have unlimited photo albums, but limited it to 10 or something that makes it hard for them to go, crazy over the top stuff when you can only have 10 photos per stuff. Now the BD system's you can only upload, I think 10 megabytes at a time or 10 photos at a time anyway, or whatever. So it's not like it's that easy to add a ton of photos in here anyway, but at the same time, you can get into that situation where one person is, because you always have that one is just like, I'm going to spend the rest of my day uploading my entire hard drive into my directory. You may have that one person who does that, and if you have unlimited photo albums in there and unlimited photos, then they could do it, right? Because that's what you're allowing them to do with your settings. So just be careful about that. And so if you're limiting it to something normal, you're not probably going to have one of those crazy guys, people that's taking up half your hard drive from one person anyway. And so you wouldn't necessarily need to know how much they're storing because it's probably not that much, right? If you don't have it set up where they can do that. So just keep that in mind. All right. Any other questions on kind of the general setup there for BD? Again, those are the options. It's kind of what you can change, and you can have content in here for video, right? HTML, you could put a video in here as well. So just something to think about as well, because it's obviously just HTML with a video source. So if you want to add the video in there, you can probably do that. Let's just go ahead and grab one of those real quick, and I'll just see if that works. That'll be my last test on here. And because again, maybe it's just a personal video. I've got my Voomly demo here, so let me go edit this, copy that, and we'll see if this works. And this has some scripting in there. Some of the stuff may not work. Like if you have a script in there, it's probably not going to work in here, I don't think, because normally the scripts always have to be in a widget because it usually strips out the widget code here. So let me, oops. Looks like I took myself off that widget. Open that back up again. So I think usually the iframe store stuff will work. If you guys have YouTube, that's probably going to be fine. This one I just happened to pick had the script, so I'm not so certain on it, but we'll check it out. Any other questions, comments on that one while I'm doing that? And then otherwise I'll move on to the presentation for today. Once I'm done with this. go. That actually worked. All right. Here was directory webinar number 1. This is the first one we did.
Live it. And then that way
Hey, Scott.
I can go ahead.
Anyway, so there we go.
Look
So
at that. You're
that
smarter
worked.
than you thought you were. It worked.
I know. So disregard. So I guess scripts do work. So now I know. It may, obviously not all of them may work, but so there you go. I think that may work good. Maybe you autoplay a video here to try to get them to come back. And so that's we'll talk about a couple things that you could potentially do. So now that you know you can edit this, we're gonna go. We'll talk about a little bit after we look at some examples, maybe some additional ways that you can structure this process here to try to help out with that. So let me go ahead and start the presentation here. All right, you guys see the screen?
Yep.
All right. So again, today we're going to talk about cancel funnels for directory webinar number 33. We talked about several different types of funnels before. This one I started at the top of the show here is the cancel funnel. You're basically the opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe the initial funnels were getting people on board or getting them to buy or whatever. This is kind of the funnel that they go through on their way out, and hopefully you can try to divert them off from leaving your service. One item I did want to say for all the people that were on last week, I was still working on some onboarding stuff or whatever. And so I think I got this one's ready to go. Give me a week. I changed the name already, so it is not Directory Engage. It made more sense for it to be the pop-up URL or website. So this is now Directory Pop-Up, not Directory Engage. I'm going to use that for something else. And so I will have that ready to go out for people who wanted to kind of test it out this week. So one thing I am going to need from everybody, though, is what website they want it on. So I think it's pretty obvious. If I already know what your website is, don't worry about sending that. If you emailed me and said you want to test it out, I just need to know which one, or if you have multiple, which one you want it on for now. So if maybe have to re-email me that so I can set you up with that. Otherwise, if you just have one site and I know what it is, your main one, we'll just go with that. So I will be answering everybody back on that this week now that I got that set up, but should be good to go for everybody. So on the actual topic for today, for the exit survey, I just want to kind of go over some stuff. BD actually did a presentation on this a couple webinars ago as well. So go ahead and check that one out. I don't know which one that was. I think they also broke it out into another short video or whatever. So if you just search cancel or exit survey or something on their site, it'll probably come up. So they went over that on their tip of the week a few webinars ago. Probably they all fly by. It was probably 5 or 6 webinars ago. Who knows?
Ryan,
they did talk about that. Go ahead, Toby.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you move the this thing that says is sharing screen? Can you move that again? Because otherwise we can't. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I'm going to move that from now on to my other monitor. I thought that was on mine only. I apologize. So I would have moved that. I would have moved that 30 webinars ago.
And your Berrycast is on as well. That's what the green line is down the side.
I know. I need to cancel. I do need to cancel out of that. Let me go. Exit. Yes. Thank you.
That's right.
There we go. That line is really part of the slide. So that white line is supposed to be there. All right. See, this one's not. Let me turn that one off too. This is my other my Snagit capture. I've got too many web captures. There we go. Now we got to clear. That's my to-do list. Exit out of Snagit and Berrycast and move my my sharing thing for next time. All right. So for today, this is basically the three things that you want to ask on the exit survey. Now we say exit survey. It doesn't have to be a survey. It could be as part of your funnel. or somewhere in one of those clicks, some things that you, if you can, or if you desire, try to get out of them during that process. So the first one is, why are you thinking of leaving? And the reason this is important is because you want to know what went wrong, right? For everybody that clicks out of that thing before they get some sort of data, you're not going to know why they left. They're just going to cancel, and you're just going to be left with a big question mark hanging over your head, and say, I don't know why they left. Was it the price? Was it my services? Did they just hate me? Right? Hopefully that's not it, but you just don't know why. And so it's kind of hard to fix anything if you don't know what went wrong, right? If, for example, if this happens to BD, my BD tickets all the time. I send something in there and they're like, it's fixed. And I'm like, well, what went wrong? Right. It's more important for me sometimes to know what went wrong. So I just don't do that again, or I'll know it if I see it again. It's the same thing, when you go to get your car fixed, right? And they fix it. You just don't pay the bill, and they don't give you a receipt, and they're just like, that's $200 or whatever. You kind of want to know what they fixed, right? What went wrong? What broke? What did you do to fix it? So that information is useful. The second thing is you want to know why they actually joined in the first place, because that tells you what you did right? Because and we went over this before for our funnel and for maximizing your revenue, you have new people you onboard all the time that are hopefully paying you money, right? At the top of that funnel, they come in and they start paying you money. And then the people that stay, keep paying you month after month, and that's recurring revenue for you. And then obviously the people that leave aren't paying you anything. So what you want to avoid is having the percentage of people that are leaving, that continually increases your effort that you have to onboard new people and get new people in. I think we did this a couple webinars ago in terms of our funnel stuff, but with the curve there of how much you can make. But just to reiterate that again, or resimplify it, the more people that you have on your directory that you're serving over time, the more people you have, the more people are there to have the opportunity to leave. And so if you have it's called a churn rate. If you have 20, let's say, this is hopefully not this high, but if you have 20% of your people leaving every month, and you're continuing to grow, the number of people that if that 20% of people leave every month stays the same, you're actually losing more and more people every month because the people in your directory are growing. And so when you're losing more and more people every month, that just makes the number of people you need to get into your service every month also increase. Otherwise, you stop growing and you actually start going down in numbers, which obviously reduces your revenue and everything. So it's important to know not only why they left, but what you originally did at the beginning, what you did right, so that you can kind of fine tune that and become more efficient on getting additional people in. And so that's a valuable point of reference. Now, you may not need to ask that on the exit because you already kind of got that information from them on the way in. So just think about that. If you have, and maybe make that as part of your onboarding flow, maybe get that information from them initially. So you have that and you don't have to wait until they leave to get that information, because that's obviously valuable information. But let's say they stay with you for 4 years. You really want to wait 4 years to get the data like, hey, remember 4 years ago when you originally signed up? Why did you sign up? They're not even going to remember anymore, right? That's really only useful for people that join and leave right away, of why they maybe joined a month or two ago. So maybe asking that on your journey of onboarding is the better place to get that. But maybe you ask it on the way in and on the way out, and just use that data and try to get as much as you can. So what did you do right, and ask them why they originally joined. And then the last thing is usually, and you kind of saw it on the one we already did on the BD side, is you just ask, is there anything that we can do? How can we improve? Is there anything before you leave that we can do to improve, to keep you on board? And so don't wait to know after they left. Like, don't. It's always poor form, I think, in terms of this. I've gotten these sometimes before, where you cancel a service or an email or whatever, and they don't ask you anything on your way out, and then like a week later, or a couple days later, they say, "Hey, we're sorry to hear you go. Can you let us know why you left?" A lot of people aren't. They're just going to delete that and like delete. I'm already gone. Like, why are they going to give you waste time on their day of answering you back on a service they've already canceled? So sometimes people do that in an email after the fact. That's maybe not the best way to do it, because people are probably not going to reply to it in a high number of rates. So maybe if you can ask them on the way out on how you can improve or anything else you can do. That's something that may be a benefit to you, because if you can answer that question and to a satisfactory level of it's almost like onboarding when you have that problem, when you can show why you solved the problem, then they're going to buy. Maybe some of these people just bought because they saw it and they didn't want to forget it. They did that fear of missing out. And they really didn't know what they wanted to get from your system. They really didn't know what you could do for them. And maybe they really never even knew. And if you can actually kind of go over that pain point again when they're leaving and say, if that's what you want, we've got that, right? Maybe you just don't even know what we offer. Maybe you didn't realize we had all this stuff that really does solve your pain point. And then they hit oh, never mind. I didn't know you had that. Great. I'm in. And then they stay. So those are some things that you can do in terms of your process. And I don't know why I put the Pringles guy on here. That has nothing to do with that comment, but it's very interesting on why it did that. But anyway, so you want to have a Pringles guy on your exit survey. So you can help keep them on the list. So those are three things what to ask for on the exit survey, or some potential buttons or info or whatever you're putting in your widget that you can hopefully get some information for. So this kind of deals with that last option there, where you're kind of asking them, hey, is there anything else we can do? But here's some potential options that you can give them. Now, if you're going to stick with the regular BD system where it just says contact us before you're leaving or whatever, maybe this is something that you just do over the phone or do over an email. Again, you can kind of know which one of these is going to help them out based on how if you have a survey or they click a certain button to go to a certain page. Maybe they click a different button, it goes to a different form, so you kind of know which form you're getting, which one that they clicked. So we'll talk about that in a little bit as well, and how you can execute that on your BD site. But bottom line is, if you know what their issue is, you can kind of give them some potential options. So here's just a few. Maybe you pause their things. So you don't cancel their account, right? Maybe you're just pause during COVID here because they don't have some income coming in. Maybe they're pausing until the summer when they get their job picks up. Maybe, whatever it is, maybe you just can pause it. Maybe you offer a downgrade. Maybe they realize they didn't need the services for their actual system and they just want to downgrade to a cheaper plan. Somebody asked me this the other day on how you do that in BD. And so let me just transition over to that real quick and show you guys how to do that in your backend. So let's go to the members. I'm going to just go to search my members. There's no way for them on their own to just go downgrade, right? It's got upgrade where they can upgrade to higher plans, but it really doesn't have a way to downgrade them. So here's what you're going to do with them. You're just going to go to their payment history. And they're in here, and let's say you're talking to them on the phone, you want to downgrade them to another subscription. So normally there's going to be, if you come in here, it's going to go to their transactions. You're going to go to the subscriptions, and it's going to have a subscription in there. And so actually this is probably not a good example because I don't have any actual subscription on here. So anyway, there's going to be a button here that says for a subscription to go ahead and edit that, and you can click on the change subscription. It's right here. It's going to pop up, and once you do that, you can change the amount. You can do an amount override. You can change when their next due date is, and I'd go do it on mine here live. I just didn't have anybody's permission here to go pull up their account, so I'm not going to do that. I apologize. I didn't realize I was going to talk about this on the slides here. So hopefully you guys can imagine that. It's going to pop up here. You can change the amount. You can change the date that it's next due. So let's say you want to, let's say it's due on March 15th, and you want to give them an extra month. You can literally just go March 15th, change it to April 15th or May 15th and hit save, and then it's just going to pause. It's not going to start charging them again for the next thing of their subscription until the next time. You can change it from annual or monthly to annual in there as well. So basically, that's where you can edit or pause or delay or change the pricing right inside their subscription and do that. The other way you can do that is you can actually, in the subscriptions item, you can actually go ahead and create a new order. And so let me just go to the transactions tab here. There we go. This is where you do that. So that was the subscriptions. You can actually go in the transactions and create a new order. So let's say you want to add them into a totally different plan or change what they have. In this one, I don't have an actual item, so it's like start from scratch. But you can do the same thing for that particular person. You just go new order, and then you basically just change them to a new membership plan, right? You're going to go, hey, it's premium membership. You can do that price override. This is exactly what it looks like on that other screen, price override. You can start the billing. Let's say you want to give them a couple months because you talked about the phone. They wanted a couple free months. You can make some admin notes here, and you just create the order. So now they're on a new monthly premium membership, recurring every month. You would want to add their card in there, or if you don't, this is now going to be sitting in their profile, and they can go add the card and finish it up. It's basically going to be an overdue invoice when they log in there because you made the new thing without any payment in there. So you can add that in there, just create a new order, and then that basically changes their subscription at that point if you want to put them on an entirely new subscription. Does that make sense? So edit the current one they're on in subscriptions. You can change the pricing or the next billing date. If you want to put them into a new one, you would just basically create a new order, put them in the new plan, and just do that manually in here. And that's just something that they can't do on their own. And that again, I think is another reason why BD has them go through you, because you would need to go ahead and change that. One thing I do want to mention for everybody, you can also obviously change the membership plan in the membership area here. You can just change their membership. Just remember, though, that even though you move them to a different membership, or if you change the pricing of the membership they're already in, it does not change their pricing or change anything on the subscription, because they've only authorized the previous one. So although they're getting the benefits of the new membership plan you moved them into, or just because the price of the membership that they were in has increased, they're going to be on that same. Let's say you went it from $9.95 to $19.95 a month. They're still going to be on the $9.95 plan, even though you change the pricing, because it grandfathers everybody in, is how the system works. So if for some reason you do that, you're again going to go have to change the price or the membership settings for what they're on to whatever you move them into, because it's going to grandfather them into what they previously had. So just be aware of that as well. Any questions on that membership stuff or the pricing piece? So that would be the downgrade option, where you just kind of change stuff or pause it or do that. The other thing you can do is offer a coupon code or a reduced rate membership. So again, you can change the pricing, maybe offer them a coupon code. Just realize that, and let me just go over a couple things with coupon codes in the system. Most of the coupon codes are set up to be new or existing. So you want to make sure that you have the right coupon code set up for that. See how this says, when can this code be used? New signups and upgrades. If your coupon code was set as new signups only, if they upgrade to a new plan or you change them to that, it may not apply. So make sure that that is properly set up. And then make sure that, they apply to recurring payments as yes or no. Make sure that's set up again, because some people have sent them a coupon code and they didn't realize that it was set to no on here, and then it ended up charging them the next month, and they thought they were giving it to them consecutively for month after month for a reduced rate, and they kind of got caught by surprise and people got angry. So make sure that the coupons are set up to whatever you're trying to provide to them. Make sure that the settings make sense to whatever you're advertising or whatever you told them on the phone or the email, etc. So those settings can be some gotchas there if you do not have them set up. But once you do have that set up, just give them that coupon code. Maybe that's enough to keep them. And again, you can give them that coupon code right on the cancel page, right? So if you're in here and you're going to delete the account, you could edit that in there. So when they go back to their account, you're just giving them a coupon code right here to say, hey, go ahead and renew or sign up for another plan or use this coupon code, whatever. You can just provide it right there for them if they want to use that. So you can just add that right in the widget that we kind of edited earlier. One of the things that you can do too is maybe offer suggestions to improve the profile. So anytime you have somebody leaving, and this is actually a benefit because a lot of people don't have their profiles filled out, just utilize the fact that they didn't actually do their end of the bargain and they didn't fill out their profile. So maybe you can offer a suggestion to say, hey, I looked at your profile, and the reason I think you're not getting any traction or that is you didn't fill out the profile. You didn't do X, Y, or Z. Here's some stuff that other people have done. They're getting real great results and they're happy. Maybe it's just we can, you can improve that and that'll help your status later. And then now that you know that they're on the fence, right? Maybe you prioritize them in terms of your leads. Or you kind of throw them a bone, right? For people looking for something, or if you're getting leads coming in and you're manually matching, maybe you just intentionally throw some extra stuff their way, or just don't give anybody else a lead. Just go straight to them and say, "Hey, Jane's looking to do X, Y, or Z. Here's their info." And now they think you're serving them. Obviously, don't do something that's outside of your normal practice, or you don't want to be continue on later because I wonder why you did that and aren't continuing to do that, but. Just some ways that you now know they're going to leave, right? If they ever come back, so that you know that they're on the fence, and kind of think about how you're servicing those potential clients. Maybe it's a little bit different or a little bit more concierge-ish compared to everybody else. And so that kind of leads to the next one, is that some people have actually done concierge services to try to maximize the results and say, hey, I noticed you haven't put together your profile. I'm going to help you do that. So if you stay, I'm going to manually just edit your stuff. Let's book a call. I'll get your stuff set up straight, and we'll get your profile nice and shiny. You don't have to do it. I'm going to do it for you. So maybe you add that extra layer of work for other people that you didn't have to do for other people. They just did it on their own. But maybe those people, it's worth your time at that point to trade your time for money to set that up. This 1 month, because if they start getting success or they stay for more time, that time value money that you spent fixing it for them, right, just starts to multiply over time, because now they're staying with you month after month. It's like getting 10 hours worth of work for 1 hour of payment, right, because they've stayed for multiple months. So maybe you offer them a concierge service to maximize that. And then finally, maybe you just need to explain the features they may not have been aware of. I mentioned that before, and again, maybe you just put this in that HTML section, or spend some time working on a feature page. But maybe they haven't used the service. And we've talked about this for the onboarding side as well. Is that really increases your retention rates over time? Is if people get your site as part of their routine early, and you provide that onboarding process on how to do that. Don't wait until they leave to show the features. Show the features up front. Get them involved with the site. They're exponentially more likely to stay with your site because you're part of their routine. They've been getting data. They now know how to use it because you've been feeding them that content in the email marketing or the newsletters or whatever. So do that early, but it doesn't hurt if you don't have that set up in the beginning to then tell them at the end of like, hey, here's all the stuff that you're going to miss out on if you leave us. And so that's something that you can always do at the end as well if you didn't do it at the beginning. So let's go back to those couple things that you're asking about, at the end when you come out the other end and you ask those three questions. the bottom line is you're doing all of this to improve, right? Improve your customer service, improve your processes, maybe your onboarding, what you're doing when they're on the service in terms of continued support as a client and customer. So use that information to improve. So by understanding why they're joining, understanding why they're canceling, use that information and make a plan to implement needed changes into your processes, right? Maybe your onboarding is messed up. You didn't tell them what features are available. Maybe you don't have any features information on the page where if they're curious, they can just go look at on their own without even having you send emails. Maybe you just don't have that set up. Maybe your offboarding process, right, isn't good because you're getting everybody dropping off. Nobody's clicking go back. So maybe you need to improve the actual process we're talking about here today of the cancel funnel. Maybe that's just, you're not getting anybody coming back. So maybe you're focusing on the wrong things or you're not asking the right questions. So maybe you need to edit that. So bottom line is, long story short, you got to use that information to prove it, right? Because if you're taking the data and you're not doing anything with it, then you might as well not even have it, right? Because if nobody's clicking back and you're not using the data that's coming out of it, it's just kind of wasted effort on everybody's part. So you want to be able to use that data somehow and just think about how you're going to use it or what information you're gathering in order to do that. And there's a myriad of ways to do that. You could set up the funnel on the funnel tracking stuff or on your Google Analytics to know how many people are going down which path. So when they get to the cancel page, which one are they going to? You can actually see the funnels and see that 95% of the people are just going to cancel. And 5% of the people are saying going down a certain path or click a certain button or whatever. And you can do that in Google Analytics, or there's other software that you can do that. Or if you're using a survey, you can actually, a survey software, maybe you're not using the form in BD, maybe you're actually embedding a Feedier form that we've gone over on other webinars there, and it's an actual survey service. You can actually get the data from that to know what people are answering or what people are clicking. So all sorts of ways, but think about how you're getting the data, what data you're getting, and then what you're going to utilize for that. So I just want to give you a couple examples in real life, just to kind of get the wheels turning, and then we can have a discussion on this. Here's one that personally worked on me. And I actually stayed with it and didn't cancel. This was literally, it was called an automatic script. Automatic script, I think is what it was called. It literally cost $17. I think it was very cheap, but it wasn't what it literally in my mind wasn't worth $17. Even from what I got out of it, because it was just too much. It gave me an automatic script for something, but it was so. It was a script. It was good, but I spent so much time rewording it. I almost felt like I should have just typed it myself, right? So it had a money back guarantee. So I hit them up, and they had a manual process, for the refund, and they emailed me back and on the support ticket, and this is what they put in there. They said, "I'm sorry to hear that you want to cancel. It's our goal to make sure everybody's successful. We're going to give you a 15% discount on your license." And so what they did was they just refunded a portion of my money. So you could do that too. They did basically just sent me like $2. It was literally like $2, right? 15% of 17, whatever that is. But they gave me a PayPal credit of $2.50 or whatever it was. And then they said, in addition to that, we're going to offer you our this online course that's stored online that is normally, and it's legitimately, I can show you guys the website. He's selling for $500 now. Is it really worth $500? Probably not. It's one of those. It's worth $500, but that's how much he's selling it for on that webpage, right? That he sent me, and it was a full up blown course, right, with a bunch of videos and course content or whatever, and it was pretty good, right? Maybe not $497 worth, but it was definitely worth more than $17 that I paid for the original script. And so they're like, "Hey, if you want to take me up on that, I'm going to give you that 15% money back, and you get access to the course." So I said, "Sounds good." So he sent me the $250. I ended up only paying $13.50 or $14.50 for that, and I got the entire course for a $500 course for free. So it ended up being worth it for me. It was no money off his back because I wasn't going to buy that anyway. I probably didn't even know about the course, and I was going to ask for my entire refund back that he was offering. So it was kind of, he basically saved himself $1,550 by not having to give the full amount back on the money back guarantee, because the other stuff was just digital, and it really was no water off his back. So I say that to you guys to say this could be an email right back to somebody of a similar method. Maybe it's something, again, maybe you offer them up an ebook or offer them up something else that you have access to. If it's digital, it's not necessarily free, but it's pretty much free, right? To be able to provide them access to something else, or give them a couple ebooks, or giving them some other resources. You can trade that stuff to keep them on as a client potentially. Now, this was a one-off item, right? It wasn't a subscription, so it's a little bit different. But again, just something that you guys can do. Just see that people have a process, right? He's thought about this, right? He just didn't make that up for me. This is his process that he does for when people leave. So think about what is your process for that. So this is not a subscription, but here's some things that are, is to kind of give you some real life examples of these. So here's the Beard Club. If you go ahead, now I found this example. I don't have a beard, as you guys know, but if you go to cancel on the Beard Club, this is the options he gives. So put my subscription on pause. Sometimes you just need a little break, pause it for 30 days. And so we kind of talked about how you would do that in BD. You just kind of bump it out. If they choose that selection, to bump it out by 30 days. And then the other one was just, is there anything else we can do to help? Contact us at any time. Here's the website link to our help desk. And there's just a button right there to contact customer support. And so here's what we talked about earlier about the button stuff. It's keep me in the club is nice and green. And then, there just happens to be a really weak, no thanks, subdued, continue to cancel button over here, right? So I have all of these nice, bright, shiny options. Keep me in the club, contact support, just pause it, and then the cancel's way down here, and it barely can see it. But at least it gives me some other options here, right? And some of the ones that we had previously talked about on the slides. Now, if you go ahead and click in there, go ahead and cancel. It then goes to this video, and we've already talked about how to do that in your BD site there. But it's got the keep me in the club here or cancel my subscription. But maybe they don't do it like this. But I just want to kind of play this video for you guys here on what they did. So here's the video that you would get if you go to cancel on their site here.
Hey, brother, Chris here. I beg you to remember the times that we've had together.
Oops, sorry.
Bar.
Let me make sure you guys can see that, right?
In the back of the fields. Losing one member of our club is like losing one beard from my face. If I lost one of these hairs, I would not be the same. So please, brother, we need you. We need you. Don't leave us. Don't leave us.
Okay, that's a little dramatic, right? But you get the point, right? There's a video on there, and they just try to keep it. So it could be just you, telling them what is important for their your service or why you want to keep them, whatever. But just and it could be a personal video. Just try to keep them in your service before they hit the cancel my subscription. Here's another one. Since we're on the facial hair topic here, the Dollar Shave Club. Which everybody's probably familiar with. They're a lot bigger now than they were. In fact, they just came out with some. Ironically, they're going to the stores with some of their multi-razor things that they were kind of making fun of earlier in their story. But here's what they have on their site there of managing your executive razor plan. Right? Maybe they offer an option where you just update the shipping frequencies. Maybe you're just getting them too often. Maybe you're getting the wrong razor type. Maybe you want to pause, or maybe you do want to stop the subscription. So they got the never mind button over here, but if you do click the stop subscription, then it highlights the continue, and you can go to the next option. And so here's the one. If let's say they pick let's just change the frequency, right? So now they have an option here, and you could do the same thing with a form. Right, where they just kind of pick an option. If you say, "Hey, do you want to do a different frequency, or do you want to go on pause? How many months do you want us to go ahead and pause?" And if they do that, then and they tell you, hey, I want to go on a 3-month pause, you just go ahead and bump them out 3 months on the plan, and they're just going to start getting billed 4 months later, and you kind of, it's water under the bridge for you. You just reset it, kind of moved them over, and now they're going to start paying in 4 months because that's what they asked for. So you can set something up like that. If you do go ahead and on their Dollar Shave Club and you hit no, I want to cancel, then it goes to the next block over here, and it says, why are you leaving us? And so now we're getting into that survey form where you say, hey, I just like the blade. I'm receiving too many blades. My trial's ending. I want to take a break from shaving. I want to go join the beard club that we just talked about a second ago. I'm gonna go over to those guys. I don't need razors anymore. Maybe they're just satisfied with the razor handle, dissatisfied with the customer service or others. So they're basically trying to say they're trying to figure out what their customers' pain points are. Maybe their new razor handle, I guess, for example, it was just terrible design. Everybody is leaving because the razor handle is terrible, right? That's good to know. Go ahead.
I'm stuck on YouTube, just twirling around.
Oh, thanks. Sorry about that.
So we missed the razor bit. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for jumping on. I hadn't done that YouTube embedded thing. Did that? Hopefully that played the YouTube video a little better this time. I just forgot to change back to the new window because that was a new thing for me. So I apologize. So here we go. I won't talk through the whole thing again, but so we just kind of talk about that. Maybe they talk the frequency, razor type, or pause shipments or stop, right? And then they hit continue. And here's what I was talking about earlier about, maybe if they hit the delay, you just ask them how long they're delaying for. And then here's all those, the survey thing I just kind of walked through. Now you can see it visually, but the bottom line is when they're leaving, you want to know why they're leaving. And this does a really good job of asking them before they cancel. You now know exactly why they're leaving. And this provides that other information that we were talking about why they're leaving. Maybe improve your processes. Maybe you change the razor handles, etc. Maybe the blades are packaged improperly, etc., etc. So figure out what that is. Now, once you figure out what their pain point is, now you can provide them with, it's almost like select your adventure, right? Book about, if you tell me what your pain point is or why you're leaving, I maybe can convince you that we are still the right directory for you. We're still the right service for you. So depending on what you pick here, I provide alternate options here depending on that. So here's a couple things. Let's say you said the razor handle, right? I was like, I don't like the razor handle. They're like, well, why don't you try a different razor? You didn't have the 4X, you had the other one. We've got tons of other handles or different razor blade sets or whatever. Maybe you just picked the wrong one. So before you quit, we're going to give you one of these 4X razors for only $6 a month. And maybe that's less than you were paying on your other one. So they kind of give them a downgrade-ish there and just say, hey, and if you don't like it, we're going to refund your money. Easy. Like who wouldn't want to do that, right? You're going to try something that you may like better. We're going to give you your money back if you don't like it. So now they give you the option of try that, or again, stop subscription, or again, that option, never mind, I just decided I did like the razor and I want to go back. So there's one option if you go down that tunnel. Here's the other one. Maybe you said, hey, I'm just getting too many blades. And so they're like, well, did you know? And so now we're kind of going on a feature thing. You maybe could have done this the entire time, right? You just didn't realize you could customize that. Maybe you signed up on the infomercial and you got the 6 blade plan and you didn't even know that you could go down to 4 blades a month. And so they're like, we have too many blades. Why don't you just switch to every other month or reduce it to 4 blades instead of 6 or whatever? And so maybe you just want to switch the frequency, and maybe this goes to a form where they fill out, hey, I only want 4 blades. And you're like, okay, roger that. I'm going to move you over to the 4-blade plan. And you move them over to the 4-blade plan, update the pricing as we talked about earlier. And now they're happy camper and they don't go off there, obviously. And then you have to stop and never mind, I want to stay subscribed. So again, their pain point. Hopefully you have a solution for each one of those pain points. And so that really comes down to knowing. And so here, like, I don't have this on the screen to know what they did for other, but maybe on other, maybe it just goes to a form and says, you've been canceled. We'd really like to know why you've left or whatever. And maybe you don't have the right selections here. Maybe let's say the razor handle wasn't on the original item, and everybody is clicking other, and they said, hate your razor handle. Your razor handles are terrible. Get new razor handles, right? Everybody's doing that. And maybe they realize, well, crap, everybody didn't know we had different razor handles available. So we're going to add that option in there. And so now what you're basically doing is you're answering all of their issues, right? And so the cool thing about doing this and putting some thought process in here, not only is this an offboarding item to kind of keep them on, these are now awesome things to put in your marketing at the beginning of the funnel when you're trying to convince people to come in. So when they're going through your stuff, we're like, sick of one type of blade? We've got 10. Stuck buying too many blades from other services? We offer multi-month variable plans and different blade amounts. Sick of other people having to charge you right away? We give you a free month trial. Stuck in an annual subscription and other stuff? We offer a month-to-month service. You could stop at any time when you want to grow your mane during the winter. Start back with us in the summer when you want to go slick for the beach or whatever. Dissatisfied with other razor handles? We've got 25 razor handle varieties. You could switch at any time. Or whatever it is. And so now if you answer all these when people are onboarding, don't wait till they're leaving. These are now your feature sets that you're trying to tout when you're trying to market to people. So not only can they help you keep people on board, but now it can also inform what you're trying to get people to actually sign up. We talked ClickFunnels earlier. So here's a ClickFunnels example. When you go to cancel on there, they say, well, you haven't canceled your account just yet. Click the option below. That's probably not good wording on there. It's probably a cooler way to do that. But you see, Russell's got a video here that plays. And then he's kind of doing that personal thing to you. Maybe you offer up the coupon code in the video. If they watch the video and just say, hey, I really like you to stay. Just go ahead and hit, we're going to offer you up a coupon code. In fact, we think you can actually get more from upgrading. Why don't you upgrade to the next plan with like tons of extra benefits for 50% off? Use code 50 off and just give it to them in the video. Do whatever you want in the video, but you can play that in there. And then you kind of see the same resource list here. Too expensive. I'm shutting down my business. And so they do the exact same thing. Let's say you're missing some features that they want. Again, now we're to another video where he talks to you. He then says, maybe, and this is, again, kind of maybe not the right wording, a little bit arrogant, but hey, do you know we're the most feature-rich software in the industry? And then he basically compares all of their features to all the other marketing or whatever other softwares on the internet that are maybe just affiliate platforms or just email responders or just marketing or just page builders. It just shows that, hey, we've got all of those and more. Maybe you don't know all the stuff that you could do. And then he basically has a form on there that you answer to say, hey, what features you obviously think we're missing features. Maybe you don't know that we offer all those features, but if you don't see some features on there, what are they? Maybe we can improve the product for later. Again, always trying to learn to see why people are leaving. If you select, I'm shutting down my business, he says, hey, don't give up on us yet. Let us help. Maybe you just want to do a live demo. So this kind of gets into what are you willing to do for them to stay? Maybe it's not the concierge stuff. Maybe you just do a one-on-one tutorial. Give them that opportunity to do that. Maybe you just need, to earn more money or to stay on the system to help pay for it. Maybe you just need to market our software a little bit more to help offset the cost. Maybe you shift businesses from the one that you were doing to selling our product. That maybe here's your new business idea, right? Or hey, don't give up on. Maybe you're shutting down this business, but maybe there's still some stuff that you can learn from us. Hey, go ahead and join our Facebook group, because again, maybe if they're involved with you, maybe they realize or say, you know what, I switched my business. I'm involved with that community. I realize what they provide. I'm gonna I'm going to join back in. I think it can help out my new business or whatever. Just keep them in the fold somehow, right? Maybe they're not paying you month after month, but they're contributing to the Facebook group. And heck, if you get a lot of people that are contributing to your Facebook group but aren't paying you, that's almost like paying you, right? Because now you have a more lively Facebook group, and the people that join because of the lively Facebook group are paying you, because the other free people that aren't paying you are providing some of that, that talkie in your Facebook group. And then finally, when you get to the last one, they give you that final option of, you just want us to put it on hold. You don't have to pay us now, or you can cancel my account. Again, so you guys can start seeing a familiar trend here where all these big companies are doing the similar things to try to either pause, extend it out before you cancel. And then he also throws in here what you're missing out, the fear of missing out stuff, right? Hey, if you cancel your account, you're going to lose your subdomain. Somebody else is going to take that from you. You're never going to get it back. You're going to lose all your customers. Anybody that was paying you some money, you're going to lose all of that. So not only are you think you're paying me money, you're going to lose some of your own money. You're going to lose all your leads because, by the way, we're hoarding all your leads and they're all with us, and you're going to lose all those. You're going to lose all your pages. Maybe you didn't realize all the pages you're going to lose. You can lose all your funnels, right? And so it kind of just says, hey, if you can pause it and you're not going to lose all that stuff. So maybe you do the same thing on yours. Hey, you cancel all your blog posts, they're going to go away. You're not going to get the SEO link credit back from the site because that's not going to be linking to your website anymore. Hey, all of those videos that you posted up that you were kind of getting some leads to your website, they're going to be gone. They're not going to be on our website anymore. So you can maybe do some sort of technique similar to that. Here's Audible. This is an Amazon company now. They basically say what you have left, right? So you still have one credit. If you cancel, you're going to lose that. Maybe you say, this kind of gets back into what we just saw from Russell there. It's basically telling you what you're going to lose. They have the similar thing of, hey, let us know why you're canceling. It's just going to take a minute. Do survey, continue, cancel. Again, trend, right? You're trying to figure out why they're leaving. And then after you provide that to them, it says they thank you for your feedback. And then again, now we're into the pause your membership with options. Maybe you want to keep listening for less, and you're going to switch it to a lower plan or use a coupon or whatever. And then they say, hey, even a lower tier that they say this is the most popular for a little bit more, but you can go all the way down to this one. And we're just going to let you keep your credits. And you want to take that offer, and then obviously the cancel down here. So, all similar items, right? But they have the same flow. And so you can go ahead and set those up on your BD directory. So any questions on those processes? Anybody trigger a thought as we were going through here, something that you maybe would want to do or never thought about before on those particular things? All right, so let's go back to here. It kind of really doesn't matter where you trigger these from. You could do it from the previous screen, right, where it just says contact us. Instead of contact us, maybe that contact us doesn't go to the contact form. Maybe that goes to another page, right? And so a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to change the flow on there. All you have to do is get them off that page and open up the door to that particular funnel stuff, right? So maybe it's on here where you start that funnel flow and just say, hey, how can we help? Let us know why you want to cancel, right? And so that's maybe where you embed your survey or you embed your form. We already talked about you can add those items in here. You can probably add a form as well, or you just do a video and then you send them to a page. And as soon as you get them to another page, that's when you can open up that whole funnel. You can definitely embed a widget in a page, add a video in there, try to get some extra data, and then try to know, what they're doing or why they're leaving. Now, let's say you don't have a form software that you want to embed a survey. How do I know what their pain point is when they're leaving, right? So let's just talk about that real quick on the page builder here. So let's say let's say we get them to a page, so we're linking to a particular exit page. I'm just going to go ahead and make a new web page here, and we'll call this demo exit here. And so this is the page you're going to link to at some point, and we'll go ahead and save that. So now you can just kind of manually make these different funnels that you want to do for the exit thing. So if you don't want to do the survey, that then maybe goes to another page after they answer the survey where you can take the data. Maybe you just do it the opposite way around, where you send them to a form or a page with certain content based on how they make a selection. So let's go ahead and let's just add let's go text block with image like that. Let's say you had a video. Oops, sorry, let's drag and drop, apologize. Let's say you can add an image there. You can actually delete that and add a video. Let's just say you have a little intro video there. And then you just say, let us know why you are leaving. Right? Not leaning, that's weird. My brain cannot type and talk at the same time. So let us know why you're leaving. And then you could put some text here, whatever that is. And let's say right here, we're going to add a table in here where you have those 6 options, right? And let's just delete that button. Oops.
Sorry to interrupt, Ryan. I can't see anything on the screen.
Oh, you can't? Oh, thank you. I'm terrible with that today. I apologize.
It's automatic script support desk for the past 15 minutes.
I can see it.
Okay, you're on the Audible one. That's weird. Yeah. That should be screen sharing. Let me.
You are. I can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, it must. Be
okay, you can see. Hold on. Let me go back to the. Where am I at here? Right. So you can see the edit thing there, Toby?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. It's all of a sudden stopped showing for me.
Okay. Hey, Olga. I don't know. Maybe your connection. Just jump off and jump back in, and hopefully it'll pick up the video there. I'm not sure why it's not doing it. So Toby says you can see my edit screen. So just jump off and jump back on if you don't mind. Not sure what the issue would be. So I'm going to delete the button here real quick, and then I'm just going to add buttons in each one of these. So you just can drag and drop a bunch of buttons into each one. And again, these are going to be your reasons for leaving, right? So we're just going to click on there. We'll click edit. And again, what this would be, it'd be a URL to the next page, right? So when this is the, why don't you change your handle? Or would you like? Did you know that we can change your length of stuff? Do you want to pause it for a certain amount of time? Whatever it is, so you can link to different pages. So let's say this is the pause page. Let's just say I need to pause. Right. Let's say this one is, let's say price too high. So button, your prices are too high. Right. So you go down the chain and you do all that, right? You link to those pages. Now the next step is, right, you're going to have to go make those other pages that you're linking to. But let me just show you what that would look like again. So again, this is what you're linking to off from one of those widgets. And they would then come to this page of after they say they want to cancel, and it's going to come to your exit page. And now it's going to give them a video, let us know why you're leaving, blah, 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 blah. Let us know why you're leaving. And then it says, I need to pause. Your prices are too high, right? And then now we're going to make the price too high page. I'm just going to click on that. It's not going to go anywhere because I haven't made the web page yet. It's going to give me a 404 error. But now you're going to make that price too high page. And now you're adding the content in there and just say, well, we can, maybe it's a form, right? It's a page with a form and it says we can or maybe it's the page with the coupon, right? So this is the price one. So you say, hey, we can offer you up, a discount here for the same plan. Go ahead and use the coupon thing, or maybe just say, let us know what you're willing to pay. Maybe you can don't even give them a big discount. Maybe just say, instead of giving them a 50% discount, just kind of ask them which one, what they're willing to pay for it. Or you guys can look at those other examples that we talked about. But bottom line is just add that content there. And then for the I need to pause, maybe that's a form. You make a new form and you give them the options in the pull down. We can definitely pause your subscription for as long as you want. Just let us know in the form below your name, email, and how long you want us to pause it for. We'll do that, and you won't pay until after the pause is over. And so maybe they do the pull down and like, I want to pause for 3 months. Put the name and email in there, and then when you get that in your form submission, it says Jane wants to pause their thing for 3 months, and then you go find their membership, delay it out for 3 months, hit save, and then delete the email, and you're good to go. They're happy, they're delayed, and now they'll start charging again in 3 months. And now that you have one form submission for that. You can kind of make the tally there that everybody keeps saying your prices are high, or everybody's getting the form for pause or whatever. You can kind of do that based on what everybody's filling out. But you can have a different thing for each one. Maybe it's just a video. Maybe it's an offer. Maybe you trade them for something. I'm going to give you these resources if you stay. If they're saying there's not enough stuff. So maybe on that page they're like, I'm not getting enough value. And so on the next page they say, value, we've got tons of value. If you want to remain a customer, click here or fill out this form. Let us know you want to stay, and we'll send you these 2 free PDFs or whatever. And so they fill out the form, and then they get the PDFs, and they kind of go out. They don't cancel, or then you hit the cancel button if they don't want the resources or whatever. So sky's the limit on those. Think about all the different ways of why people are leaving, and then make sure that subsequent page answers the question for them. So I think that's an easy way for everybody in here. They can easily use the stuff inside of BD without having to use another form, without having to use other stuff, and they're just using the native stuff inside of BD in order to downgrade. Anybody else have any questions on there, or got some ideas that I didn't really talk about? Potential ways to do that, or to avoid downgrades or cancels inside their website? Or any questions on how to do something that we didn't go over? All right, Leroy, welcome. I know you jumped on, Phil, while I was out there. So I know Mike is gone. Hopefully you can watch the replay. Mike had a question. He says, what if a client wants to add a marketplace page for their business? It's this side question there. I'll get to that in a second. When we open it up for any general stuff. Anybody have anything on the topic from today? Otherwise, we can move on to any other random topics there. All right. So if anybody does that next week, if you guys want to come on or show me what you guys thought or what you guys did next week, feel free to jump on and let everybody know what you did to change that or execute the offboarding thing, because I'd like to see use cases that are, again, sometimes people come up with good ideas that other people have not done, and every good idea helps other BD owners. So to Mike's question here, he says, what if a client wants to add a marketplace page for their business? So there is nothing inside of BD right now for a marketplace. There are a couple options for selling stuff on here. And again, we've gone over this before, but let's do it for people watching the replay or that have not seen this. There is a product post type. I changed mine to product or service, but it's a product post type. And then there's a digital product post type if you paid for that add-on or you have the VIP add-ons. And I actually have a video up on my directory toolkit for this one. So if you guys can kind of watch an entire video on this, on the difference, it's in the videos section on my page. But basically the difference is the product post type just allows your users to put a link off your site to another page for something to buy. So for example, if I'm selling t-shirts and I put a t-shirt as a product on your directory, I would provide a link to my website where I sell the t-shirts. That URL would go in that product post type URL field. And if you went to my product and clicked on get more information or buy now, it's going to go off from your site to wherever they're selling it. The digital download version, the digital download item is, oops, where am I at here? There we go. So that's the product. The digital download website part is usually for admins only. And the reason for that is this digital product, it doesn't have to be a digital product, so it's kind of misnamed. It could be anything. It could be a digital download. It could be a t-shirt. It could be an actual product. It could be a service. It could be anything you want. Basically anything that you want to sell, and it links into the Stripe account that's set up for the directory. So if somebody that doesn't go off-site for that one, if they click buy now on a digital product, it will actually force them to log in, or if they're already logged in, it will charge the credit card that is on file with your membership and your directory will charge them for that particular item through the Stripe integration. So the reason it's normally recommended for only the admin is because it's going to your Stripe account. If somebody else as a client posts a digital product, because you allow them to post that, and they sell a product that's theirs, you're getting the money because it's going to your Stripe account. They're not getting anything. So you could obviously pay them back for that if you get paid and take a commission and just give them a smaller amount if you want. But I normally would not recommend doing that and being the middleman on a product purchase. So because you're basically buying it from somebody else and you're getting the money, but you're not fulfilling it. So it gets very weird real fast. So there's nothing in there directly in the system to do a marketplace. There are a couple options that people have developed inside of, if you go to Directory Toolkit, there is an option here. It's called e-commerce for Brilliant Directories. And Jochen Shaw from Business Labs has developed a BD integrated e-commerce that allows other clients that are on your site to sell their own merch and dice or merch, whatever you want to call it. And they basically add their PayPal in there. And then when somebody buys it from there, add it to the cart or buys it, it then funnels to that person's PayPal account and does not go through your Stripe account. And so allows all your clients on your website to sell stuff. You can click here to see Jochen's demo. It kind of gives some information. I think he's reduced the price to like $2,500 a year now. I think he has $4,000. Bottom line is, it is a lot of money. Divided out, it's like $250, $300 a month to do this. So it's not for the faint of heart, obviously, for the monthly stuff. But if that's something you want to do and you want to integrate it in your BD site, and you're having people that are selling a bunch of stuff on your site and charging them for that, again, just think about if it's $300 a month for you and you have 30 people paying you $20 a month to have that opportunity. I mean, again, that's not that many people, 30 people paying you $20 to have the opportunity. You're doubling your money every month. You're paying Jochen for that and pocketing the same amount you're giving him of your own. And then, multiply that out of, if you're charging more than $20 and you have more than 30 people paying for that, you're making a lot more money, and now you have that functionality, and it's built into your BD system. So seemingly a lot, and that I always throw that out there for people too, that a lot of times where people don't want to pay money for any items or whatever because they see it as a bill, you also have to see it as a monetization method as well. You obviously don't want to be paying it if you're not making any money, but if that's going to get you additional sales or provide that extra bit of capability to get additional sales, it's probably going to be worth it. And that goes for any software product, right? For anything that you want to do, it may be an expense, but if it's getting you more money in return and providing that the experience for the clients or the customers, and they're staying on and paying you for additional months, then just think about one client that's paying $20 a month. If you make them happy with whatever one of those software things you're using for a long time, that one customer is basically, if they don't leave, they're paying your $20 a month bill for any number of services, right? So sometimes having payments for items end up actually helping you. Again, you just have to feel it out for your niche or for your particular business model or whatever makes sense for you. But so bottom line there, Mike, is that there's not anything built in there for a merchant. There is some opportunities there, or you can use the digital download or the product post as a pass through where people can add as much stuff as they want in there. So hopefully that answers that question. Does anybody else have any other general BD questions or anything else with our last 15 minutes for today, or any other stuff that's going on with their directories or anything I can help them with? Bueller. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say.
Tell me, were you going to say something?
Silent.
I think I'm talking. I don't know if there's a delay today. Toby, go ahead and state that. Otherwise, Olga, do you have something? Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to ask something.
Go ahead, Olga.
Yeah, it's basically back to service we discussed and stuff. How often is it reasonable to send people emails? I don't have much experience with this, and from the point of view of a user, like of different services that I use as a business, as an individual.
Yeah, usually
there are so many that sometimes I just don't even read them. So I can imagine that I start sending the same thing to my clients. I don't want them to get annoyed. On the other hand, I don't want them to stay uninformed about new services I offer.
Yeah, so the couple things on that. Oh, that's a great question. So normally, usually, I think the number is 6 to 8 contacts before people generally buy or try something new. So if you're trying to teach them about upgrade or show them about your service because they haven't actually subscribed, 6 to 8 I think is the number what people normally recommend. The other thing you got to think about is when somebody signs up for your service and they're onboarding, they're actually expecting information from you right away because that's generally how it works. If they signed up for something, you want to catch them while they're hot. I guess is what they would say. Don't wait for, and send one email every 2 weeks or whatever and tell them about a new feature on your site. They just signed up. And so if they see a bunch of stuff from you for a week, they're expecting that. And in fact, one of the best ways to do that in people's minds is to have them start looking for your emails. So maybe after they sign up, when they go to another page after they sign up, or because you can change the page that they go to after they sign up, maybe on that right after they sign up, it goes to another page and it says, and all the successful pages do this, where it literally just says, hey, I'm going to send you look for that email right now. It has all your login information, but we want you to get the most out of our site. I'm going to be sending you every morning at 8:00 or just say, I'm going to send you every day for the next week. I'm going to send you my best ways to use the site, about all the features, things that you maybe didn't know we had. I'm going to just send you all that good stuff for the next week. So make sure that you're looking for in the inbox for the next week. We're going to give you all of our best stuff, and it's going to include some free resources that we're giving you away for free because you're a new member, whatever it is. And then tell them, they're basically at that point, they've just signed up for the service. They want to learn about your service because they just signed up for it, right? So they want to know how to use it. they're probably going to be looking for that. And then they're really going to be looking for it because you're going to tell them that they're not going to be looking for it. So, and so that's just the onboarding piece. For the other pieces of, just continuous newsletter stuff, what always usually works best is keeping it on a consistent basis. So maybe it's every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, but just get them in a consistent format where it's just not randomly spamming them all over the place with all different things. It's more of a routine, and then they start to look forward to you or know that they're going to look for that every Tuesday at noon. I get the email from Olga that it gives me a new tip of the week or tip of the month or whatever it is. And they'll if it becomes again going back to that routine thing, it starts to come back to routine, then they're more likely to engage with that. The other aspect of that of sending it, a lot of times people send too less because they think they're sending a lot, but they're actually not. Because what ends up happening is if just like kind of like Facebook as it rolls through all the different stuff where people are sending stuff, sometimes you roll into look at the whole group and you're like, I didn't see that post come through my feed, or like, wow, I missed a lot of stuff. Same thing as with email. So sometimes if it gets below the fold or they don't see it, maybe they didn't read it at all. So maybe you think that they're feeling like you're sending them a bunch of stuff. They may not even know that you sent them anything. Right? Because that maybe one went to the spam, one didn't, one kind of went to their archive file and they just never even read it. And so they may be the opposite where they're like, it's crickets from Olga over there. I haven't heard anything. And the truth is you send them one email every 2 weeks and they just happen to not read 2 of them in a row. And they think they haven't heard from you in 2 months. So, bottom line is there's no right or wrong answer necessarily. There's definitely a wrong answer, I guess, if you totally spam them all the time and they get ignored and they leave. But a lot of times it's safe to email them more than you think. And just think about your own personal experience. When somebody's like giving you a crap email all the time, you're getting like 4. Some of these you get like 4 emails a day from somebody, and I'm like, delete or remove. Like there's nobody needs to be emailing me 4 times a day about, you don't have that many new products, right? So I think most of the times people know when you're spamming somebody, and most of the time it leans the opposite direction where even though you think you're emailing too much, that probably means you're emailing right about the right amount because they end up probably not seeing everything you're sending them anyway. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, it's just, I'm always trying to learn people's behavior, like figure out, why they do things. And what I figured out lately that the largest amount of emails are being sent from American companies. No other country in the world sends so many emails. It's just, it's just experience for the past couple of months. And yeah. I'm trying to figure out the right way. Like, say I was trying to figure out what is the best way to post on social media. And I've noticed that when you post too much, it annoys people and they actually start leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it's all comes down to how much work you want to put into it, Olga. I mean, you could split test that, right? And get, have different lists of people that are in the same boat in your thing and send one group of people, send 25 people, one every week, another one every other week, and send another one every day. See which people start leaving, right? Yeah. And you'll start to realize that. So you can split test that stuff all the time too. And again, it depends on the country, right? It depends on the niche.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it depends on the type of business and it depends on the country.
Yeah.
I have an idea that I'm thinking about doing is whenever I do onboarding, I'm going to ask people, what level of contact do you want from us as far as getting informed and stuff like that? And so people that really don't want to be, we won't bother them. And people that do, they'll be on a list where we email more actively.
Yeah, that's great, Jeremiah. There's some, I don't know what systems there are sorry, Olga. I don't know what system that is. I need to research that a little bit more, but there's some email software that just does that. Like when you go to cancel, in the bottom, on the little GDPR thing at the bottom, the double opt-in, and you're like, hey, cancel, it'll actually go to another page and it'll give you an option to say, hey, are we just sending these too often? Do you just want to just get less of them? Or it'll pop up and say, hey, you're subscribed to 3 of my lists, right? Newest products, feature updates, and I love getting spam email newsletter lists, which, maybe just unsubscribe from one of them. And then you're like, yeah, I don't want I just like spamming you email list. I'm going to leave that one. I'm cool with your features one. And they can actually individually select, which ones they're subscribed to in their database and just unsubscribe from the ones that they don't want. So yeah. And again, that just all comes down to, again, back to my software thing, right? Maybe it costs some money to get a autoresponder that has that functionality, but maybe it's worth it for you because you can keep additional people in the fold instead of just everybody just automatically clicking the unsubscribe button, having one that just automatically removes them without any complications, and then they're gone, and all they wanted to do was get less emails from you that week, right? Or maybe a different email list. They liked the other 2, but they couldn't stand the one that you were giving them, that they just left all 3 of them because they hated one of them, right? So there's definitely ways to go with that.
Okay.
Do you have something else, Olga?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. We're about at our time here. Does anybody else have any last minute questions? I'm just going to throw this out there. While you guys think about that, I'll let you chime in here in a second before we go. I'm not going to do a webinar next week. It is my birthday next on the 11th next week, so I am taking the week off from that. Frank is going to, I think, be starting up his webinars, his marketing stuff, and he's going to do one next week at least, or at least do one for a week there, where I'm taking off to do some marketing stuff. Heads up from him, he'll be on the forum there, I think, letting everybody know what the plans are. I think he may be doing his own system. I'm not sure. Sign up for his thing next week if you want to jump on there it's just kind of an open forum, Q&A, and talking marketing stuff for BD or otherwise. At the very least, if it may just be back here with Frank leading it next week for his marketing stuff, if he's not going to have a different system. But just TBD on that from him. I just want to pass on that he is going to do that next week in my stead. I'm going to do this one or in 2 weeks. And then I think eventually I'm going to be transitioning as well. Once I start the membership program, I'm probably going to be doing every other week anyway for everybody. And then I'm going to have a members only special one for clients or whatever on that every other Thursday that I'm not doing the other one. So I think that's the plan going forward. But I am going to start the every other week. Next week I'll be taking it off, and if I'm available, I'll jump on with him next week. But just to give a heads up, it's going to be Frank and marketing next week, and this one will be on a 2-week pause until I come back for that one.
So do we need to email Frank just in case to include on the list to get an invitation? Because I would be interested to talk to Frank as well.
Yeah, He'll put it in the forum, but if you just want to, if you guys do want to email him, let me just get his email address. I'll put it in the chat here. If you guys want to directly email him or ask it, you can do that.
I appreciate you doing these webinars. It's very helpful. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Let me put that in the chat here. Here's his email. So if anybody does want to email him, let him know that you are interested in that and excited, and that will make his day. You guys see that? There you go. There's his email. Any other last minute questions before we go? Anything on BD? Otherwise, business, life, genetic engineering, rocket science, anything?
I hope everyone is able to get a vaccine.
Yeah, that depends on what country you're in as well, and I guess how old you are. I think they're opening it up for 50 or above in my state next week, or if you're in healthcare. But I think they said at least here in the U.S. I think they said they'll have enough for every adult by May, at least here, and I think somebody from the UK said June for them. or something for everybody. Or that may have been kids as well for them because they have less people. But
Be safe, everybody. Thanks, Ron.
all right, thanks, guys.